Morning and welcome to Tuesday's edition of TVC Breakfast. My name is Itoma Edu.
Thank you for joining us this morning. I am Veronica Danikboy.
Another beautiful morning. Good morning, Nigeria. I am Ria Abdul, and there is definitely a lot to discuss on the table this morning.
A beautiful Tuesday morning to you. We're here again to give you all the information that you need to hear today and beyond. I'm Ibrahim Shita. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. Of course, it's not raining today. Maybe
I think it might.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Although it drizzled a bit. I felt the drizzle earlier on. But then that's part of our conversation as we progress in the program. Then we're looking at the airport, the renovation that the government intends to do and the controversy surrounding it, as well as our relationship with Taiwan. We'll also look at stories on the front pages of the papers, as well as stories that are trending now. But let's begin with this story where the Lagos state government is urging residents to remain calm following several hours of continuous rainfall that has left parts of the city grappling with flash floods. Authorities say infrastructure is in place to manage the situation, but a warning of more rains in the days ahead. In a statement released by the Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, the state acknowledged the intensity of Monday's downpour and said it aligns with weather alerts, issued by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, which predicts more rains and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, residents in Ikorodu are calling on state authorities to urgently dredge the canal near Olowoidikan Market following downpour that left shops submerged in floodwaters.
Even though, as I'm at home this morning, that one of my neighbors called me that water have already entering all the shop. I feel that they're surprised. Even though the shop that the water is not entering before, it's entering here today. Even though I'm very surprised. I need to assist one. Like about cleaning drainage.
Since they are doing this express road, since Fasolari, what is there is that maybe maybe 5 years, 4 years ago, they cleared the canal to reduce a bit. So the canal don't block. That's how it affects us every year. So now, at here now, we can't enter the show.
It seems Ikorodu was one of the worst hit in Lagos State yesterday. Areas like Ishawo, Werigbe, Okokwe, and several areas in Ikorodu were flooded yesterday, and some parts of Lekki axis were also flooded. Some parts of even K2 as well as Ojodu, Ojota were flooded yesterday because the rains were pouring down all through the day yesterday. In fact, I almost did not come to work yesterday because the rains were heavy when I was leaving the house. It subsided, but then again it continued. I thought it had stopped falling, and then I saw that it kept raining and raining, and a lot of persons were not finding it funny. Homes were submerged in water. Shops, like we have rightly pointed out in that story that we saw earlier on, submerged in water as well. Properties. That is to let us know that climate change is very much present and that we need to do better when we are talking about the disposal of our waste.
Exactly my point. That's where I felt I should talk on this morning. We are always calling on government to come and help us when we see things like it happens every year. Every rain season, we see flooding here and there. And yet, we have not changed our attitude towards waste disposal. We have to be individually responsible, knowing that if we do this thing, come the next rainy season, all of us will suffer. So we should be a little bit more, or not just a little bit more, we should be really responsible about the way we dispose our refuse, about the way we keep our environments clean and so on. And on the government side, government shouldn't wait for this to happen before they start clearing, or let's say a month to do
We've
to the
seen
main
government
rains.
clear,
Yes,
do some
but it
work,
happens.
and
it
we
happens.
even saw where they were arresting persons who were disposing waste illegally. Government has been doing a lot regarding that.
Now, government has been doing that. Is it Lagos, the statewide? I see pockets of that. You know, I see some in Ikorodu, I see some in Surulere, I see some in Lekki, and so on. And all these drainages are connected. If you need to clear drainages and canals, please clear all of them. That way, when it rains that heavily, there will be a thoroughfare for the water. You know, but first, the most important is how we treat our environments as individuals.
I am here wondering, who are those blocking the canals? When they were built, it was clear. That's it. It was clear. But you see, this our attitude. We had the GMD of Loma here. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago, and we spoke about this. How you, Ria, also mentioned that some areas that you've been to on the mainland, it's seeming like they are not present there to, you know, clear out the waste, and they are saying the attitude of persons towards disposal of waste is the major challenge. And the influx of persons coming into Lagos State, when you talk about creating awareness, and it says daily we see influx of people coming into Lagos. And so we need to keep them abreast of the rules and regulations of Lagos State regarding waste disposal, which is another major challenge. But go ahead.
You know, the thing that makes me sad is the rains are supposed to be showers of blessings, but now when it's raining, you're scared of flood, which is not supposed to be like that. And I remember the conversations we had with him when he was on the show. He was saying that Lagos is largely clean. And then I pointed it out to him that there are some places that are really dirty. And that takes me to what Etoma is saying. You cannot clean only one place and you feel like you've done it, because they are linked together. Now also, the government cannot do it alone if we as citizens don't come together to help, because sometimes I do not even understand the mentality of throwing things on the floor. I don't understand the mentality of you knowing that you are blocking the drainage, and at the end of the day you would suffer it, because look at the people at Ikorodu. Not just Ikorodu, I'll take you to Lekki, where you could see a lot of bins had come out. You could see that they have thrown a lot of bins, so you could see the bins coming back because the rains had pushed it out. So I always like to ask the question, as Nigerians, we keep on saying, oh, government is government that, but we ourselves, what are we doing? Because tell you what, the government cannot do it alone. You know, while he was here as well, we also spoke about the Kai. The other time that when you throw, they catch you. He said that they have been jailing people and all of that.
Of course, we have been seeing that.
He said it here, but then the thing is that, is it enough? Because day in, day out, we still have our citizens do that. So for me, I'll just say that as citizens, we need to do better. It starts with us. Sometimes we forget that we are the ones that really suffer this rain. Our cars are spoiling. My friend's car has packed up. She cannot even drive it again because the water got into it. So at the end of the day, we are the ones suffering it. So why are we endangering ourselves?
The water got into my car yesterday.
Your lock is working.
Yeah, it's still working.
Thank God.
But Ibrahim, you have been a victim of paying your dues, yet disposal is still a major challenge regarding the authorities within where you live not doing the needful, because that was also another major matter where some persons are not paying their dues, and then you see their debts littering around the compound and around the environment. And I'm wondering, how do we continue with this kind of thing? How do we deal with these issues? Because I recall you had that complaint at some point.
Yeah, I think some time ago. But the problem there is, in the way you have a whole lot of people, Lagos is actually not just flooded with water, but it's flooded with a whole lot of people. People with different idiosyncrasies, mannerisms, and the way they behave, it's quite, you can't even fathom it. Even in some offices, I don't want to mention names, you have silly people, you know, littering the floor, blocking the urinal and all of that. That causes a lot of problems. So that is one problem. And if the government knows that we are dealing with different kinds of people from different states, from different walks of life, what has been the role of the government? You do not wait to use amphibious excavators to clear the drainages. I love the fact that you said if you have cleaned or cleared one, that one that you've cleared links another one. So if you are not clearing everything, not doing the needful, there's a problem. But it is not only Lagos that is flooded. I also saw in the story that Hong Kong, Texas, Germany, most of these places are also facing challenges. So I just want to quickly play what's it called? Give you one gory, maybe disturbing. So listeners, discretion is quietly advised. Somewhere in my tour, I got stuck. There was this flooding on the road, and we could see Fecal matters, you know. That's why I use the word fecal matters.
You
know, being washed up.
That's fine. I think that.
So imagine the disease that will be, you know, shared around.
Thank you. I think it's important that as a people we take responsibility and ensure that, because I see every morning I see people disposing waste indiscriminately. I think it's important we take responsibility because it comes back to us and it comes to haunt us. Climate change